I arrived in Bonaire yesterday at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so actually about 24 hours ago. It was Sunday, but customs here is open every day of the week, which is crazy. I kind of thought I was gonna have to just sit on my boat and gaze longingly at shore, but that was not the case. You're not allowed to anchor anywhere here, so you have to pick up a mooring, and the moorings are extremely close to shore. So where my boat is right now, it's an onshore breeze, and I have about 2.5 feet of water under my keel. I could throw a potato and probably it would hit the shore. Why a potato? I don't really like potatoes. I like sweet potatoes, but I don't really like the white ones. So actually that doesn't make sense because I don't have any potatoes in my boat. Anyway, the point is, I'm very close to shore, so I've rigged up a very fashionable and technical system so that people walking down the street can't look right into my boat. Take a look. Here we have my Perio that I use on the beach, the blanket that I use when I'm underway, and well, that towel, I just went swimming, is normally there, so you can't look into my cockpit or down my boat. And then check out how close I am though. This is so crazy. There's shore. And all these boats, they're kind of too deep, all stacked up along the shore. So the dinghy goes ashore pretty easily. And everyone is just jammed in here. I'm not crazy about it. Let's see, I've left my depth sounder on because I'm obsessing. Yeah, 9.6, 9.7. The thing with this depth sound's not calibrated. So my boat draws about 5.5 feet, but this reads a foot and a bit deeper than the actual water depth. So when it reads 6.7, I'm aground. Guess how I figured that one out? Which means that right now I have about 2 and a bit feet of water under my keel. There's less than a foot of tide. I've already been through 1 full tide cycle, and I'm deciding to not be nervous anymore, but if my boat was any longer, I think it would be a problem, or if I drew anymore. So anyway, I'm about to go ashore and walk around and see what this island has to offer. It's really different from the Eastern Caribbean, and honestly, when I got here yesterday, I missed the Eastern Caribbean a lot. This feels a lot more Western. There's a lot more infrastructure, everything is paved, and like I had gelato in an air-conditioned cafe yesterday, and it just felt so weird. I'm used to, you know, buying coconut water from someone selling it out of a cooler on the side of the street, and I like that so much better. But I think it's gonna be fun here. That's what travel's all about. It's always different, and you miss where you've come from, but that's good because that means you enjoyed it, and there's always gonna be something just as beautiful, but maybe in a different way. Today my plan is to hitchhike across to the east side of the island and try to go walking along the coast. Also on the north tip there's a national park that has some good walking, and there are a couple of lighthouses, so I'm packing a lunch and I'm just going to hopefully meet some cool people, maybe make some new friends, and just do some hiking and exploring of the interior part of the island. Well, I'm about 3/4 of the way there. I've had 3 rides so far. No one's going very far, but they're all super happy, and I haven't had to wait for more than about 5 minutes for a ride. So this is the most deserted stretch, and I'm really hoping that I get another ride to the park. Okay, I got my 4th and final ride into the park. This is a huge national park that covers the whole northern tip of the island. And since I don't have a car and I'm planning on just doing the closer walking trails, I only had to pay $3 to get in. Otherwise it's $45 US to do the whole park by car. It's so different here. Eastern Caribbean is all lush and covered in thick vegetation and beautiful flowers, and here it's cactuses everywhere and deserty. Super crazy. Like, I've never seen this many cactus in my life. It's really cool. It's also very hot. But look at these crazy little things. I'm so glad that I ended up here. This is a tree, but it's also cactus. So crazy. This place is crazy. It's the closest I've ever been to a desert situation. It's quite hot, and I'm really excited to get to the water. According to the little map that they gave me at the guide place, there's a blowhole, which sounds really fun, and a little flamingo swamp, which probably has a better name than flamingo swamp, but that's what it looks like. I brought bug spray just in case, because you never know. And now I'm just enjoying being a cactus kid, I guess. This sign explains the most common cacti of Bonaire. Kidushi candle cactus. I guess those are the giant ones. Oh, you can eat the fruit. Tuna, prickly pear. Oh yeah, those are the ones that look like a bunch of ovals connected together. Yatu, also candle cactus, confusing. And this one, Turk's cap. Those are really cute little nuggets. Nectar-feeding bats on Bonaire are the most important flower pollinators of the candle cacti. That's really cool. That means that these are Yatu, and then it said the Kidushi look like they have a tree trunk, so that was like those bigger ones, like that one right there. And the Turk's cap I haven't seen yet. I saw them on the side of the road when I was hitchhiking. This coral wall was built in 1860 to keep in animals from one plantation to another, and it's survived for the past however many years that is from then to now. And if you look over the top of the wall, you'll see a third type of cactus. I'm not sure what they're called, but they're white and they move. It's kind of interesting. Oh my god, it is so hot. I'm dying. Of course I chose noon to be walking around in a desert full of cactuses. I finally made it to the water, but where are all the trees? I need shade. This is so ridiculously hot, but it's really pretty, so worth it, I guess. I found the tiniest piece of shade in the world. This is a horrible plan to come here right at noon, but that's just kind of how it happened. I'm just gonna try to cool down. It's incredibly hot, but there's a nice breeze, and at least my back isn't in the sun, even though my arms and probably my face is. And it's kind of a cool view. It's so hot, and there's no protection from the sun anywhere, so luckily I brought my Aperia with me. And I've made a temporary sun shelter using the edge of this rock wall. And if I just curl up a little bit, it's perfect protection from the sun. And I can enjoy a nice little lunch and then keep walking around this little spot right here. The coastline here is so crazy. It's sharp, rocky coral that just sticks into the water with no beach or anything. If you went swimming, you definitely would probably just get sliced into tiny pieces by the waves. It's really hostile environment, and I wasn't expecting that, you know. I kind of thought it was going to be like the rest of the Caribbean, but it's really unique, and that's kind of fun. It's crazy that an island that's only 500 miles from Grenada, which is the epitome of beautiful, lush jungle, can be so different. And that's the cool thing about sailing, is that you really feel those distances between islands in more of a real-time sense. Okay, so I've spent a couple hours in the park walking around, hung out by the ocean, saw a bunch of cactus, stepped on a bunch of cactus thorns. So I am wearing shoes, but they are stupid shoes, and the cactus spikes go right through them. I was not expecting there to be this many cactus, which has been really exciting. I'm about to go back through the gates and try my luck hitchhiking home. I am a little nervous about getting started because the only traffic that comes up here is people going to the park, and I don't think there are very many of them. So I was really lucky on my way here. I only waited 5 minutes for a car to pass me, and the first one that did picked me up because it was obvious I was going to the park because there's nowhere else for me to go. So I think people are more likely to stop, but the problem that I'm concerned about isn't someone stopping, but there actually being someone to stop. So I might have a little bit of a walk, but I might not, who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna start heading back. It's 3:30, which should give me plenty of time to have to wait around for some traffic. And luckily this time I'm going towards the capital city, and it's way more likely that the ride I get will be longer instead of the 4 short guys that I had on my way here. Oh, here's the third type of cactus. The Turkish cap, I think that's called. They're not that big. That's my hand. I think that becomes a flower at some point. It's really cute. It only took me 1 ride to get home, which was cool. These travelers picked me up. They were from the Netherlands, and they gave me a ride all the way back to the city, and I was so hot. As soon as I got to my boat, I dove in the water because I wanted to prove to myself that it was okay, that the very small amount of water underneath my keel was going to be fine, and that there was a nice sandy bottom, so even if I touched, it wouldn't be a big deal. So I swam around under the boat for a little bit, cooled off, and kind of chilled myself out, because if there's one thing I get nervous about, it is not having enough water under my boat. The next day dawned nice and stormy. There was a lot of thunder, you can hear that in the background, plus scared dogs barking and rain. I must say, I don't really mind weather like this every once in a while when I'm not at sea. It can be hot dog, Batman. It is doing something out there. We have thunder, we have lightning, we have scared people in the zodiac. It's all very exciting. I'm just sitting here drinking my tea and spying on people. I have to close up the whole companionway when it rains. Since I don't have a Dodger, the rain drips right from the hatch onto here, which covers the engine, which is bad. So everything's closed up. It's pretty hot, but I'm just glad that I'm not at sea right now. And I think this is gonna pass by. You can already see some of the sky clearing up. Evil looking. But anyway, this is one of my last days in Bonaire. Tomorrow is my last day. I'm leaving to sail to Curacao. It's about 40 miles. It should be a really easy sail. It's all downwind. 40 miles, not that big of a deal. I'm on my way to Curacao. I had the most horrible, embarrassing departure ever. Luckily it was early, so no one saw me, but what happened was that there hasn't been any wind really the whole time I've been in Bonaire, so the boats kind of are all over the place pointing. The wind was from the east, so all the other boats were pointing bow to the east, but for some reason my stupid boat was pointing with its stern to the east. And before I left, I wanted to spin it around so that when I went off the mooring, I could drift off of it into the ocean instead of onto the land, because I'm so close and everything's so shallow. So I put my boat in reverse first and then turned the tiller so that I would reverse sort of around the mooring block. I was worried that the mooring block was higher than my keel because it's so shallow. And sure enough, it was, because for some reason I didn't reverse enough and my keel hit the mooring block and I wasn't moving. And then I wasn't really able to move forward anymore either, or turn, or do anything. So the only thing I was able to do was to take the mooring off my boat and drive over the mooring lines, which, as you know, is bad. So I gave a burst of forward and then threw it in neutral so that hopefully by the time my propeller passed over the mooring lines, it would have stopped spinning, which it did, luckily. And there was no foul. The lines got hung up on my rudder, but I just pushed them off with a boat hook and I was free. But it took a lot of time and it looked really horrible and I felt stupid. I just got to Klein Curacao and it is absolutely gorgeous. So originally I was gonna sail straight from Bonaire to Curacao. I'm talking really loudly, but I'm very excited. But I talked to some of the people at the marina in Bonaire and they said that it's cool if you stop for one night on Klein Curacao before you get there. I haven't cleared in yet, so I'm not going ashore, but I am swimming around and looking with my eyeballs, and it is absolutely beautiful here. I definitely want to come back after I clear in to check it out more. So that boat that you can see leaving is one of the charter cat. Apparently a lot of boats come here just for the day and then leave because technically you're supposed to not stay the night here. But what I've heard is that the Coast Guard kind of turns a blind eye, so I'm really hoping they turn one or two of their eyes blind for me, because here I am. What I'm excited about at the moment, beyond the initial excitement of wow, this is beautiful, is that I am desirous of cold beer. I have, or wine. I'm gonna chill everything. So I have this really horrible, actually, wine that I got in Bonaire, but I also have some beers. And what I'm going to do, since there's such a big drop off here, is put them in this net bag and hang them over into the deep so that they can chill. I don't think this is gonna make anything cold by any stretch of the imagination, but worst case Ontario, beer is still beer. It still works whether it's warm or cold, so it's always a win in the end. Unfortunately, it's too windy for my sunshade right now, and I've had enough sun today. So I'm hanging out below. I'm looking forward to the sunshade my dad is sending down for me with my mom. And once the sun gets a little bit lower, I'll sit on the foredeck and look at the beach, longingly, wishing that I could go ashore. Because obviously I'm not going to, because you're not supposed to, and I'm not going to show that on video. Alright, moment of truth. Here it comes. This is almost as exciting as catching a fish. Well, it was pretty warm, but I liked it anyway. Pretty nice anchorage, huh? Looks like all the other ones. I'm safe and sound, tucked away in Spanish water, which is super protected because to get in, you have to go through this really scary snake maze full of rocks, shoals, coral, more shoals, and once you get in, it's just flat and awesome with a really nice breeze. But getting in, I had to change my pants by the time I arrived here because there were some tense moments when I wasn't really sure if I was gonna make it or not. The entrance is really intense. It feels like it's about 10 feet wide, but in reality I think you have 80 feet. And it was blowing 20 knots, easy, and pretty big swells. I took my sails down and just put on my engine, and there was a really nice big coral reef to my leeward side, and to my windward side also a coral reef. And my engine, as you guys know, is a 10-horse single cylinder little inboard diesel, piddly, and I had it almost full throttle, and I was getting set so hard from the wind that I was sailing at an angle and getting pushed sideways, and all I could think was, if I go aground right now, that's kind of the end of the adventures. But luckily, nothing bad happened, and I made it all the way through, dropped the anchor here. It's super good holding. Before I headed into town, I went to go check out the area around my boat that's walkable distance. And there's actually a really nice little kind of park area with good snorkeling and some old forts that I walked around and explored one evening. You can climb to the top of the fort and look over this really beautiful beach. And once again, lots of cactuses, but I'm starting to appreciate the cactuses, whereas before it all kind of looked like a cartoon of the Wild West. I'm starting to see the variations of spine length and cactus girth. You know, technical things like that nature people like me are always observing about everything. It was really cool, and I'm glad that I have walks like this that are close enough to my boat so I can go out whenever I feel like getting some exercise. Town itself is big but very clean and very nice colors. Everything is kind of muted compared to the East Caribbean bright colors, but still really beautiful pastels, tons of artwork on the walls. This is the bus stop. It's conveniently the one bench that is under the tree that isn't there anymore. If you're into shopping, there is shopping for you. Stores selling fancy, expensive clothes that you can wear to impress your friends, but also kind of cool local stores with interesting looking gadget. Lots of art everywhere, art stores, people doing art. It was really fun to walk around for the day. drink coffee and play tourist for a little bit.
Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky, little boxes, little boxes, little boxes, all the same. There's a green one and a pink one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. And the people in the houses all went to the university, and they all put in their boxes, little boxes, all the same. And there's doctors and there's lawyers and business executives, and they all get put in boxes, and they all come out the same. And they all play on the golf course and drink their martini dry, and they all have pretty children, and the children go to school, and the children go to summer camp, and then to the university, and they all get put in boxes, and they all come out the same. And the girls go by a sailboat and say, "Fuck this bitch, I'm leaving," and they eat fish that they hand catch and dance naked in the rain. They see sunsets, they see dolphins and storms and constellations, and they sail into the sunset, and their life's never the same.
But I've had the best time here. There's so much going on. The bus system can take you anywhere in the island. There are always people to meet. Everyone is super friendly. I've hitchhiked a lot and no creepy people have picked me up. I'm really sad to leave actually, but in exciting news, I am leaving tomorrow. Well, actually, okay, that's not true. It is true. I'm leaving tomorrow while I'm filming this, but by the time this gets posted on YouTube by the lovely Tish, I am going to be underway for Panama. It's gonna take me about a week. I'm leaving on Sunday, so I'm uploading everything to Dropbox, and Tish is gonna help me put it all online while I'm at sea. And I'm meeting my mom there. She's coming to sail with me for a little over 10 days. We're going to go to the San Blas Island. My dad is sewing me a proper sun protection cover for my boat. He's an amazing sewer, so it's gonna be beautiful. I'm really excited for that. I've been getting ready to go for the past 2 days. The forecast looks good, but the only thing is that the wind is always dead pretty much right around like the last 150 miles before Panama, which means hell on this boat because I'm motoring at 2.5 to 3 knots, hand steering, and if I want to sleep I have to stop my boat and lash the tiller and lash the main and then catch naps. So I'm trying not to think about that part. The part I am thinking about is the first couple days, which will be really nice 15 to 20 knots on my butt and me just flying down wing and wing, hopefully catching fish. So if you guys liked my video, I post new videos on YouTube every 2 weeks, and on the other week that I don't post a video, I write a blog post on my website, windhippie.com. So if you like reading, you can read there my little stories. They're a little bit behind where I am, but they fill in some gaps that I didn't cover in my videos. I have a Patreon account if you're interested in supporting me, patreon.com/windhippie. There's also a link in the description. Thank you to all my patrons who are supporting me on there. You guys are awesome, and you're helping me make my dream come true and be able to do what I love to do. I also have an Instagram account @BoatLizard. If you want to see a couple times a week, I post pictures and stories of things that I'm doing in real time. So if you guys are missing, you know, every 2 weeks videos and you want more pictures of this stupid face, you can get them on Instagram. Lots of stupid face up there for sure, guaranteed. Thank you, Tish, for helping me manage all my social media while I'm away at sea. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Thank you guys for watching and for all your super nice comments and jokes. You make me smile. I love hearing your stories, and I'm so excited to hang out with my mom. We're already planning some really awesome videos for you guys that we're gonna make, the two of us together, and maybe there will even be a bonus video next Monday if we get our act together and if we have Wi-Fi, which we might not in the San Blas Islands, so stay tuned for that one. That's what we all do. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks on YouTube, and I'll see you next week on my blog for next blog post.